In this video, let's talk about global mobility. You may have heard the term before, but what does it really mean? And what's the future hold for global mobility in our increasingly connected world? Let's explore. So let's start with the basics. What is global mobility? It refers to the ability of individuals and businesses to move, live, and work across different countries seamlessly. It's all about making international movement, whether for short-term assignments, long-term relocations, or frequent business trips, as smooth and efficient as possible. At its core, global mobility involves several key elements. And this is a bit negotiable, but I'll go over a couple key elements here. One is work permits and visas. So these are essential for individuals working abroad. Companies often facilitate these processes for their employees, ensuring that the necessary permissions are in place for international assignments, right? Like you can't send your employee out around the world if they don't have the permits and the visas to do so. Another one is relocation support. This covers everything from helping employees find housing, setting up in a new country, enrolling kids in schools, and integrating into a new culture. Another key element is tax and legal compliance. So individuals and businesses need to navigate international tax laws, immigration regulations, and employment rules when moving across borders. Another growing piece of it is digital nomadism. With the rise of remote work, global mobility has expanded to include the growing number of digital nomads, people who can live and work from anywhere in the world as long as they have an internet connection. And that's really how I got onto this idea of global mobility, was from the perspective as a digital nomad, but then I kind of realized that global mobility spans much more than just, laptop bros in Thailand or Colombia. But global mobility also isn't just for employees being sent abroad. It applies to entrepreneurs, freelancers, and high net worth individuals looking for residency or citizenship opportunities in other countries. Think of it as the infrastructure behind our globalized world, allowing talent to flow freely across borders. So why is global mobility important? Now that we know what it is, let's talk about why it's important in today's world. Well, as economies become more interconnected, businesses need access to talent across borders. Companies often expand to new markets and need to send employees to set up operations, manage teams, and build relationships with local partners. On the individual side, more people than ever are seeking opportunities to live and work in different countries, whether it's for career growth, lifestyle changes, or even to take advantage of different tax and visa opportunities. Global mobility opens up a world of possibilities. In fact, for businesses, having a strong global mobility program is a competitive advantage. It helps them attract and retain top talent by offering international experiences and career growth opportunities. It can also mean lowering your taxes by moving parts of your business or your whole business to different jurisdictions where you're treated better and experience a lower tax rate or other business opportunities. So it's not just a perk for employees, but a necessity for companies operating on a global scale. So what does the future of global mobility look like? Well, one is we're definitely seeing increased remote work, right? The rise of remote work, especially in this post-2020 world, is probably the biggest trend impacting global mobility. People now have the flexibility to live in different countries without being tied to a specific office location. Me, myself, I've been working remotely and traveling the world for 6+ years consistently, consecutively, right? Haven't had a lease, haven't had an apartment, just traveling the world. Digital nomad visas are also on the rise, right? With countries offering attractive packages to encourage remote workers to live within their borders. This trend is reshaping the traditional model of mobility, making it more about lifestyle choice than just career necessity. right? All else being equal, you would rather live somewhere with a low cost of living, safety, maybe a beautiful environment, maybe you're on the beach, right? So mobility can mean a lot of different things to a lot of people. And when you can work online, I mean, you're starting to see this, like global digital nomad hubs. Another thing with the future of global mobility is digital transformation and how technology is playing a huge role in the future of global mobility. From AI-driven immigration tools that streamline visa applications to digital platforms that manage cross-border compliance, technology is making it easier to live and work globally. Imagine a future where applying for a work permit is as simple as submitting a few documents online and having everything approved within days, or where tax filings are automatically handled through international digital systems. Okay? Another thing that's on the mind of a lot of people is sustainability. So global mobility will also need to address the growing concern around the the environmental impact. With frequent travel being a major contributor to carbon emissions, businesses and individuals alike are looking for ways to reduce their carbon footprint. This might mean fewer short-term assignments and more reliance on virtual teams, reducing the need for constant international travel. You're also maybe you've seen when you book a flight, it might say your carbon impact. Or in a sort of dystopian way, you might have seen countries like France have said, why don't we put a cap on the amount of flights someone can take per year? Hopefully the future doesn't lead to that, but who knows, right? Another thing affecting the future of global mobility is geopolitical shifts, right? Political changes and immigration policies will continue to influence global mobility. The ease of movement can shift dramatically depending on economic conditions and international relations. However, many countries are recognizing the value of attracting global talent and are adjusting their immigration policies to welcome more skilled professionals, whether that's golden visas, digital nomad visas, and this is all pretty new, but you're going to see more of this in the future. Another thing will be a focus on well-being and inclusion, right? So companies are increasingly invested in services that support not just the logistics of relocation, but also the emotional and mental health of their employees. Additionally, diversity and inclusion will play a more significant role, ensuring that opportunities for global mobility are accessible to a broader range of people. So to sum it up, global mobility is about more than just moving people across borders. It's about creating a world where talent and businesses can operate without the limitations of geography. As we move into the future, technology, remote work, sustainability, and evolving policies and political environments will continue to shape how we live and work globally. So what do you think? Is this world ready for the new era of global mobility? Well, I think we're at an interesting moment. I mean, the whole move to remote work was brought about very quickly. Not too many people were working remote prior to 2020. I was one of them, and I would go to places and I'd be the only gringo, the only American. Whereas now you're seeing just exponentially more people in these digital nomad hubs, or traveling and working at the same time, or living outside of their home country for extended periods of time, because now that they can make money, right? And I think that this is only beginning, and we're really at the beginning of a long-term trend, and the laws haven't fully caught up to it either, because it takes time to pass laws, and we're really only maybe 4 years into this mega trend where the term digital nomad, for one, wasn't even a common term. Even in, say, 2018, 2019, people had never heard this term before. And so now it's well known, but the laws still need to catch up. And I think there will be more addressing of digital nomads as a type of consumer. There will be more addressing of the internationally minded wealthy expat or wealthy international citizen in the future, where people who have a very high net worth, they can go where they're treated best. They have a lot of options. And if they're not being treated well in places like France or Canada or whatever, they can go to the next country that will offer more for their presence, for their tax dollars, for their spending money, right? So we're going into a world where there's sort of a global competition, not only for talent, but also for all types of resources, human capital, financial capital, and where you spend your time ultimately, right? And where you register your businesses and where you pay taxes. And countries are going to have to actually compete with each other for your tax dollars and for your business, right? So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel. We talk all about the future of work, global movement, second passports, helping you get multiple residencies and second passports around the world, open bank accounts around the world, get driver's license around the world, really, and be an international citizen in all senses of the world. So MyLatinLife, we're an international immigration agency with a focus on Latin America. We can help you get residency and put you on a path to a second passport in any country in Latin America. If you would like to work with us, there will be a link in the description where you can book a call and you can become our next client. And I'll see you in the next video.